So, Emmanuel, now that we have a little bit of a team put together, we have documentation and ways of more formally thinking about ICETE impact teams than just a phone call a year and a half ago, whatever it was. We are now, the Lord has us moving towards our next global event for ICETE.
Yes.
And this will be ICETE's 19th global gathering in 40 plus years.
Interesting.
I know, right? And so as we move towards that in Albania, I know that impact teams are going to be a very significant part of that gathering in Albania. The gathering is not a speaker-centered event. It's not about presenting papers and things like that. It's really about how do we look forward in theological education together? What is next for theological education? And I always say that it's the people, it's you, it's those that are involved. I mean, you are what's next, and what we're trying to do is provide some a mechanism, a way of doing that through the impact teams. So as you think about that, first of all, I know that impact teams have already started, right? I mean, is that the case?
Yeah, I think it's the case. We just send an invitation out to the community, to people connected to ICETE. We said, we would like to have impact teams. These are the guidelines. This is what it means, and on and on. Submit topics, that you care about, but we want to make sure that you're not doing it as an individual. And so why don't you look for one or two other leaders who care about the same topic, talk together and submit a proposal. And our coordinating team will review that proposal. We will send you feedback if we need some more information. If not, we will approve, the coordinating team will approve the proposal, and it means you are on to start.
Yeah, and you're raising a good point, because each impact team is required to have at least 3 core leaders.
At least three coordinators.
Yeah, and that's what your team put together, came up with as part of the requirements. And so I know we've had dozens and dozens of proposals.
I mean,
and your team has reviewed these thoroughly. There have been some that have been sent back, and then they send me an email saying, why did mine not get accepted the first round and whatever else. But your team has been really thorough, and I just have respected that so much about the process you've come together to foster in all of this. But along the lines, we have reviewed a number of proposals, and so at this point, how many teams have actually been approved? I just
want to speak to the integrity of the process. Of the approval of these proposals. And I really thank God for the leaders in our coordinating group, because they were really dedicated. And they were saying, how can this make an impact? Is this a one-time topic, or is it a topic that that can grow, and that has room for different people and different regions that can enjoy over? So they looked at a number of things, and they were so objective in addressing this and passionate about it.
And that's what I appreciated so much about your team. They were so serious.
Oh my goodness!
They were like this. This was the real deal for them. This was not just a little sidekick thing.
And they were asking the tough questions.
And
looking at everything that is going into that proposal, and then they would say, this proposal needs to merge with that proposal, or this proposal needs to, it's not really there yet. They should do some little bit more work and provide some information. And so at the end of the day, we're able to approve 20 out of,
that's great,
dozens.
Who knows?
So many of them.
I use the number of 50.
So 20 impact teams have been approved so far.
That's great.
And it does not necessarily mean that we're only going to have 20 impact teams. But 20 before C-25, which is a conference we just talked about. But after C-25, if leaders find opportunities and topics and themes that they are passionate about, and they're willing to work around that to strengthen theological education and engage the church, by all means, they can submit a proposal, and the coordinating team will review that proposal.
And your coordinating team, the other thing I appreciated is that, I think you might have alluded to it a moment ago, is that they would review all the proposals, and if there were two that were kind of similar, you guys actually communicated with the leaders and said, would you consider creating one?
Exactly.
And that's happened several times.
You know, that was a particular proposal, something like an indigenous curriculum or something. And we had 3 different proposals.
You had 3
on the same subject.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So you can imagine having 3 leaders for one proposal. So you're talking about 9
leaders that were interested in
the same thing. And how to really manage and get them to talk to each other and get one person to lead it and get a few to support that one person.
What a process. But your team did all that. Yeah, your team got to do all that.
And so once approved, impact teams can start working.
Yeah.
They can start meeting.
And some of them have already started.
Some of them have
started meeting. I was talking to someone the other day and they said, yeah, we've already met 2 or 3 times. Yeah. They're already getting ready for C-25.
That's right.
They're gathering in Albania. I've also heard some people, because you mentioned about, we have 20 right now, but it doesn't have to end there.
No, it doesn't, no.
And I've heard even people saying, I want to go to Albania, and I'm going to probably talk to people about creating an impact team. So some people are going to Albania, and they're wondering, okay, here's an area of interest that I have. I'm going to talk to some other folks there and maybe create a team out of Albania.
And we will add that to the 20 that we have.
Yeah.
And keep moving and supporting and facilitating, the process going forward.
How do you see these impact teams working during the week in Albania? What will happen to the teams as they come together? Because we're going to have times set aside for the impact teams, the leaders, and those that are part of the members of that team to come together during the week. How do you see them working while in Albania, and what can be expected from that?
Well, we have a 6-hour block for each impact team, spread over Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Some are going to be in the morning, some are going to be in the evening, but each impact team will have 2 hours each day to discuss and work with the members within that group. And our hope and prayer is that those 2-hour blocks will be an opportunity for the leaders of a particular impact team to be able to lay down what the broad strokes are, the direction they are heading, describe what this particular impact is going to look like, steps that they are hoping to take, how their meetings will look like, and actually begin to start working and talking about issues and needs and critical issues within this particular area. And so for those 6 hours, that's quite a good chunk of time.
That's a good chunk of time, and it's going to be broken up between 2 hours.
2 hours, each
3 days.
And we were doing that because we want them to have some time outside of their impact teams to also explore some other things and pray and attend a workshop and do that. So each impact team will have 2 hours a day, which is 6 hours to begin work. And those that have started working already, they're going to build on what those that haven't started, it's an opportunity to strengthen their, begin and get a momentum going. So
one thing I want to do at C-25 is I want to walk around with you when the impact teams start to meet, because we're going to walk into rooms and we're going to see dozens of people from all around the world coming together and addressing certain topics that need to be elevated and embodied in theological education. And I'll tell you what, brother, it's going to be an exciting moment when you walk into those rooms and you see these people working together. It happened a little bit for me at C-22 because we had these little working tracks, and I started walking into them, and I thought to myself, this is
real.
This is real. It's working. They're actually doing something, you know. And they have their charts up on the board, and they have their computers out. They're creating all sorts of things. So it's going to be an exciting moment at Albania
to be able to see
it actually happening.
And we're having like about 500 or 600 people going to be showing up. And we're giving everyone an opportunity to sign up for an impact.
That's right.
So you see, average.
That's right.
We should be having like about 20-something people. Or more.
We have some impact teams that already have 40, 50 people in them.
And each impact team.
Yeah, that's great. What about, we're going to meet with them during the week, or they'll be meeting during the week. But we're going to have a moment on that Friday
Oh, that's going to be a special day.
Right? We're going to have that moment as we begin to close out the week.
Yeah.
And we've had this great event all week long.
Yes, I can't wait to get there.
Yeah, right. It's like I wish we were there today, but we got to be patient.
Exactly.
We got to be patient.
Exactly.
So, but we'll get to Friday morning,
yes.
and what will be happening on Friday morning? What do you envision for that?
I think after all those meetings and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on Friday we're going to have the commissioning. Of the 20 impact team.
Yeah.
And finally see impact teams officially commissioned. We're going to pray for them. We're going to bring the leaders, up and, all this amazing commissioning process.
Yeah.
And ask God's grace and blessings and power upon these leaders as they lead this. Because this is, it's a spiritual thing.
The Lord is at work.
It's a spiritual thing, and this is the church's mission, and this is about, it's about the commission. It's about what God has laid upon our hearts,
and just saying to them, go.
Yes,
this is it.
Yeah,
we are sending you. We are commissioning you. We are blessing you. We are behind you. We are together in this. We are forward together in this.
Yes.
Let's go do it. Let's go make it happen.
Yes.
And it's going to be a great moment. And each person that's part of an impact team will receive an item that will kind of, they can hold on to that as a memorial of the week and of the commissioning.
Amen.
So we look forward to seeing that happening too.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Amen.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm looking forward to that.
We all are. The Lord will be with us.
Amen.